Thunder Report from 107.7 The Franchise.
Hi, I'm David Garrett coming to you from the Franchise broadcast studios today as we get ready for the Thunder game tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers at 7 o'clock at Chesapeake Energy Arena. On today's report, we hear from Russell Westbrook, who will talk about his return, his minutes played, and the loss of Kendrick Perkins. And we'll also check in with Nick Collison, who has a thing or two to say about the Thunder's defensive effort from this past loss to the Clippers. We start with Oklahoma City guard Russell Westbrook.
Well, Russ, first of all, if you just talk about how you're feeling after a couple of games.
Feel fine. Not quite back yet, but I feel better. Win is up. We ain't won a game, but feel all right.
Where's the one place you're waiting to get more comfortable with? What's the one thing that you feel like maybe right now isn't where it should be?
It's a lot. I can go down the list, but the main things are my win and moving around and running and jumping. As long as I can do that, then I'm all right.
You talk about just the fact this team is now Perk is going to sit out for several weeks, and you guys have continued to make adjustments. What this process is going to be like now without him as well?
Maybe it's going to be a little different. Perk is a big asset to our team, especially defensively. On bigs and coverages and just knowing the game. And now it's time for Steven and Hash and those guys to step up and be ready to play.
Particularly speaking, Steven's obviously learning the game, but to be a communicator and a leader now.
Definitely. This is his first year. He's learning just like everybody else had to learn, and now he's got put into the position and the way he has to communicate and has to talk. So he's going to learn.
Russ, you guys obviously know what an asset Perk is to you guys. Can you sort of put into words what he means to have him out there on the floor?
I just said he's a good defender. He does a great job with us. Team defense, is a good communicator, and he anchors our defense.
You guys have used small ball lineups more than in the past, especially the three-point guard lineup with you, Reggie, and Fisher. Do you like those lineups and kind of how you're developing with the small ball?
It's good. Based on how the game is going and how Scotty sees the game is flowing, so it's all up to him on how he wants it to go and how he see the game's going.
Is this the most versatility you guys have had, roster-wide with Perry can give you minutes? You seem like you have a lot of different type of players.
Probably so. Yeah, just because Perry can guard 2 through 4, and maybe even 5. Andre, Kevin, our bigs can switch off on guards from time to time, so probably so.
When you guys go ahead.
When you came back the first time this year, it took you a while to get back going, and I assume that it's the same thing is going on now. Is it frustrating? Is it hard to be patient, knowing that it'll be there at some point, but you got to sort of wait through it?
I wouldn't say it was hard the first time, and I wouldn't say it's hard now. What you want me to score 30 every night?
Sure, why not?
Nah, I didn't do that all season, so why would I do it now? So you got to think about what I was doing before I got hurt. It's just gonna be there. That's all I care about is winning. If we win, then I feel like I'm back.
You guys as a group have had a lot of continuity. How does that help you guys when you deal with different circumstances like this, Perk being out?
It's very important.
It's
very important. I think as we've gotten older, myself, Nick, Serge, and Fish and Kevin, those guys that's been here know what it's like to lose guys, and when guys need to step up and communicate. And us being together for such a long time, we kind of got to find a way to get over the hump.
So what do you see from Cleveland? A lot of young talent, maybe at times haven't quite put it all together yet, but they still have.
They've been doing a good job. I think the second half of the season, they had won about 6 straight at one point in time. They got a lot of young guys that can do a lot of great things throughout the game. One-on-one defense is going to be key against those guys, so be good.
What do you think all this adversity is doing for you guys?
What adversity?
You missing time, Perk now up to 6 weeks.
It's just a part of a season. Obviously, you don't want nobody to be hurt, nobody to be out, but it's a part of the game. And I think, in any sport, any given day, things can happen, and you always got to be prepared. And I think the group of guys we have and our coaching staff and training staff do a great job of preparing guys to be ready to play for. You never know what may happen.
Russ, until the end of last season, then you hadn't really suffered that kind of adversity from the injuries. How have you progressed through it?
It's obviously been different, but I think our guys did a great job when I was out, just competing and coming out, every game and playing. And now Perk is out, we got to step it up as well.
Have you seen Kevin become more comfortable playing the 4 this year, and how does that help you guys have a versatile line?
Yeah, he's done it for a few years now. I think he's fine with it. I think it's a tough matchup for other teams. It forces them to put a perimeter guy on him because there's hardly any bigs that can guard him. So it's good. We're used to playing that way. And then the good thing about, or the unique special thing about him is his size on the defensive end. He's probably not the most comfortable guarding guys. Like he had to guard Blake Griffin for a stretch. He's probably not the most comfortable doing that, but he's capable because of his size. And there's times where he's the low man, he needs to rotate, and being almost 7 feet compared to most teams, the guy's 6'7", it gives us a whole different look defensively. So we can do it.
People talk about Perk, Steven replacing just Perk, but there's a lot of lineups you guys can go to kind of counteract stuff, especially with this roster, right?
Yeah, this is the first year we've had injury bug, but the good thing is they've got a good talented roster here. We've got continuity, so we got guys that know what they're supposed to do. So losing Perk is a big loss, the same way Russell was a big loss. But we are equipped, I think, to handle it. We got guys that can step in and play.
How are you guys adjusting your defense with Perk out?
Well, we won't do anything differently in how we play. Obviously, him being out is a big factor. He does a good job. He's a great communicator defensively to anchor the defense, and there's a familiarity when he's in there. And we've had him in that group for years, so that's the biggest thing trying to replace is that familiarity and the communication, the things that he brings. But in terms of game plan, we won't do anything differently. Our defense is simple. We just have to do it better. So go ahead.
It seems like there's, was an adjustment period when Russell first went out and when Reggie came back, and it started now with Russell again. Do y'all view this time as just kind of, it's going to take a few games to get adjusted? You've been through that before.
Well, there's definitely adjustments to make, but I think when we look at the last 3 games, we've been really bad defensively, and I don't think that we can point to Russell coming back as an excuse for why we've been bad defensively. So there is some of that, and that's just going to take time. Russell is a incredible player. We all know, incredible athlete. It's more probably for him to feel comfortable, getting back into rhythm and feeling comfortable. But I think we can't let ourselves off the hook with that stuff when we look at the film and we see how bad we've been defensively. So we know what we need to do. We know we need to come into these games more focused and have a better defensive mindset, and we know that's how we're going to fix the problem.
Beyond the points and the assists and rebounds, what does Russell give you from a leadership intensity standpoint when he's back on the floor?
He brings a lot. He's one of our most experienced guys. He's one of our most vocal guys, and there's also, like I said, a familiarity playing with him, and we fall back into more of a normal setting with him playing with that first group, Reggie playing with the second group. So it's big having him back late in games. He makes big plays. He does all kinds of Russell plays that no one else can do, getting an offensive rebound or a steal, and just that boost of energy that he's able to give us is big for us.
Nick, what do you feel like the challenges are for Steven as he moves into that full-time starter role here for a month plus, and how do you from what you've seen from him both in games and in practice, how do you think he's set to adjust to attack those challenges?
Well, I think he's going to do well. I think at this point of the season, he knows what he should be doing. He does not having to really learn how to play. I think the minutes will be good for him. He'll start to feel more and more comfortable, so I think he'll play better with that. The challenges for him are just being able to consistently be in the right place. Offensively, if he's playing with that group, they do some things differently than we do with our second group in terms of sets we run, things like that. So just learning to do that, and with him, hopefully being able to avoid the tic-tac fouls. He's had a problem with that because we need him on the floor. But I think he'll do a great job. And like I said, I think with the minutes and the comfort level, we'll see him play a lot better. It's tough to adjust to playing in the NBA, and it's also tough to play with 5 minutes here, 6 minutes there. I think the extra time will help him a lot and play better.
That was one thing that you guys needed him to do well in the starting game. What would it be?
I think run, change ends, and then be a helper defensively, and being able to take care of problems on the defensive end, being able to recognize when it's time to go help, and get a better feel for that. And I think that's something that comes with experience. Offensively, if he can just run to the rim, our offense is so much better because the flow is better, there's more space, and then be able to screen and find the ball because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for drop-offs the way teams play our scores. So he'll get better, and like I said, he'll with the comfort level, more minutes, he'll have a better comfort level and play better.
Per minute, Nick, he's a really good offensive rebounder. Can he be a really impactful guy that way with more minutes, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. He's tough on the board. He's physically talented, but he also pursues the ball. And there's a lot of balls that go off his hands right now too that he'll be able to snag with just that little bit more comfort level. That's what a lot of the NBA is confidence and being comfortable with what you're doing out there.
Nick, real quick, just for this, for pregame, will you talk about Cleveland and just defensively, you guys want to be better? They have a lot of young talent. What you guys need to focus on?
Yeah, with Cleveland, they do have a lot of talent. Kyrie Irving at the point is tough in pick and rolls, and they got a lot of athletic guys around him. So I think, despite it doesn't really matter who we're playing. We know we need to be better on the defensive end right now. That's where we've been struggling. So that's the focus coming in the game, is to be a lot better. Fundamentally, we're not changing anything in our game plan. We just have to do it better.
And we thank both Russell Westbrook and Nick Collison for their contributions today. Don't forget the TotallyTickets.com Countdown to Tip-Off show, powered by Homeland and Bank 7, comes to you from Toby Keith's I Love This Bar Grill. We get started at 6 o'clock tonight. Zach McCright will sit in for me. He'll be joined by Desmond Mason and John Rohde. We hope you'll enjoy it. And then after the game, it's the Franchise post-game call-in show. That's today's Thunder Report. I'm David Garrett for 107.7 The Franchise.